Hello there, I'm James Mayville, and I'm the second vice president of the Central High School Speech and Debate team. And first of all, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to judge Congressional Debate. Now, I know it can be lengthy, seeing that prelims are 3 hours and finals are 2 hours. But thank you so much. Hopefully, some of these tips in this video can help you out when it comes to judging Congressional Debate. First things first, let's talk about the PO. Presiding officer. He or she is the one who controls the room. And this is what a PO ballot looks like. A PO ballot is separate when compared to a regular representative's ballot. If you do not have a PO ballot, please see Mr. Haynes or someone that is running the tournament. Missionaries, anyone can help you out and find one of these ballots. Another thing about the PO, they should have a gavel because they're the one who controls the room. Now, if they don't have a gavel, it's no big deal. They can use a water bottle or a stapler as long as they have something that can make a distinct noise for time signals. Now, they are the ones who give time signals during the speeches. Usually TFA regulations are 1 at 2 minutes, 2 at 2:30, 3 at 2:50, excuse me. And then after 3 minutes, the PO should begin to gavel down the speaker, and where they have a 10-second grace period after the 3-minute speech. Now, if they reach the end of grace, the PO must give them a verbal stop, and they must stop and not say any other words pertaining to their speeches. So the PO, again, controls the room. He has a separate ballot, should have something to make a distinct noise for time signals. He or she should verbally give you the time of the speech so that you may write it down on the Congressional Debate ballot for other representatives. As you notice, it has speech 1, speech 2, speech 3, and the topic. On the topic, you write the piece of legislation, the number of it, and you have a place for notes to leave for that representative. And also, if they're the sponsor, the AF, or the NEG. Now, sponsors and the sponsorship speech in Congressional Debate means that specific school wrote that piece of legislation, and so they just give the very first speech of that cycle. Another thing to keep in mind, again, are the speeches, the times. Another thing to keep in mind that looks really good with speeches is clash. When, say, an affirmative speaker gives a point about global warming, and then the negation comes up and calls them out on their point of global warming and proves them wrong. That is clash, and that is something you should look out for and take into consideration when ranking speakers. Another thing is during questioning, the first AF and NEG of each cycle should have a 2-minute questioning period. And every other questioning period following that should have a 1-minute questioning period. Now, the thing with questioning to keep in mind is prefacing. Prefacing is when someone gets up and asks a question and brings up outside information that has not been previously brought up in the round. So say, for instance, we've only covered one piece of legislation that had to do with North Korea. But then someone gets up in questioning and brings up global warming in North Korea. Well, global warming may not have been brought up. So that would be prefacing, and the presiding officer should call that out while they're controlling the room. So hopefully some of these tips can help you out. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to come by our information table inside the library. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy.